This is going to be a hard video to make for me, and it might be even harder for some of you to watch. Today we're talking about discipline. For a long time, I felt like I really had discipline figured out. If you watch content about discipline or self-improvement content, they're always talking about the same things, right? Wake up on time, eat healthy, work out, read. And I never had a problem with doing any of those things. For me, it's easy to wake up when I want to. For me, it's so easy to follow a meal plan, to follow a diet, to follow an exercise regime. I just make myself do those things. But discipline is a lot more than just that. And that's the realization that I've come to after feeling frustrated with myself about why I wasn't perhaps where I wanted to be, and looking at my future goals and seeing them be so far off in the distance, and deciding that I would take radical action to bring them much, much closer to my current reality. This is my journal where I write down pretty much everything, including everything that I do during the day, everything that I want to do, and also ideas for things that I want to talk to you guys about. Now, what I've realized is there are really two sides to discipline. There are the things that you have to push yourself to do, and I'll call that positive discipline. I have to make myself do this workout. I have to make myself approach this person socially. But there's also the discipline of saying no to distractions. And it's that discipline that I personally have struggled with. And I found that as my life has got better, as I have improved my success, whether that's with YouTube, the kind of social status that comes with that, social life, place that I live, the distractions get bigger and better. I think I mentioned that before. Before, I didn't really have that many distractions to say no to, other than the ones that everybody has, such as you can always drink alcohol, right? You can always watch corn. I've been told I have to say corn on YouTube. You can always play video games. You can't always not go to a pool party. You can't always not go to a club. You know, those are things that come to you. But I realized that for me, true discipline would look like saying no more than I say yes. So ask yourself this: what are you currently turning down? What are you rejecting to help you reach your goals? For me, I am rejecting nightlife, at least more than I used to, because I've realized that the main fuel for my productivity with work, the quality of my ideas, the way that I'm able to show up not just on camera for you, but also for the clients that I have in my mentorship group, I need to sleep. I need to sleep very well to be the best version of myself for those people, for you. And when I stay out till 1 or 2 in the morning, that completely ruins the sleep, not only for the following day, but it actually has a negative effect days later. And even though I would typically only have done this maybe once a week, a Friday night, a Saturday night, and I wouldn't get drunk, I might have 2 to 3 drinks, it was having a very negative effect. The next day would be extremely painful to get through. I don't feel like I was able to perform anywhere near my best. And then I would spend the weekend or the start of the week recovering from my celebrations, as opposed to recovering from all of the hard work that I've just put in. And also, I've realized that I actually don't love nightlife all that much. I actually love daytime. I love going out, playing golf with my friends. I love hanging out by the pool, spending time outdoors, smoking a cigar outdoors perhaps, having lunch. Even when it comes to dating, I'm transitioning to more of a daytime dating approach. I think it was Muhammad Ali who said the hardest thing about his training routine, it's not all the sit-ups, it's not taking the punches, it's being in the bed every night, alone, for 9 hours, and having the routine and the discipline behind that. Because the harsh truth is, if it feels easy to you, it isn't discipline. I don't need discipline to eat the meals that are good for me. I don't need discipline to wake up on time. because that's easy for me. I do need discipline, perhaps, to say no to distracting things, to say no to shiny objects. Maybe you need the discipline to avoid the video games. Maybe you do need the discipline to eat healthy, to avoid those temptations, those sweets, those snacks. It doesn't make you a better person or a worse person what your discipline habits have to be. Yes, some people are more disciplined than others, but it doesn't mean that one particular habit of discipline is more important or better than the other. And for you, the discipline of getting those workouts in might be much harder and much more important for you than the discipline of saying no to distractions and saying no to late nights. Now, there is a balance to discipline. I personally wouldn't want to live a disciplined life 100% of the time. I don't want everything to be on a schedule. We do need to allow room for spontaneity, room for adventure. But I do believe that that spontaneity and the adventure should be in service of your higher goal. Let's say I do meet a woman that I genuinely believe has the potential to be my future wife, my future life partner. Am I going to stop myself from investing more time into her, to perhaps having 1 or 2 late nights to get to know her better? No, of course not. But am I going to stop doing those things with people whom I believe there is zero potential that they will be my future life partner? Yes, that is where I draw the line personally. And if your discipline is in more quantifiable terms, for example with diet, you may decide, I'm going to give myself this one cheat meal once a week, cheat meal every 2 weeks, to allow yourself the reward as well for being disciplined for the rest of the time. And I do believe that when you give yourself those small breaks as well, it's like a bit of relief, and it also triggers a bit of guilt, which helps you stay disciplined for the following period of time. Discipline will always be very hard to maintain without motivation. And motivation is kind of like showering. You have to do it every day. It runs out. Some of the things that help me stay motivated are having a clear vision and representing that on a vision board. And I previously made a video all about vision boards, and I even shared what's on my personal vision board. So you can go and check that video out after this one if you would like to. I also like to use AI to help myself maintain discipline and to make decisions. You can even go into ChatGPT and share all of your goals, even attach your vision board as a JPEG file, and ask it to help you make decisions based on the goals that you have. So for example, if you have the goal of saving money, but also building your business at the same time, you can ask ChatGPT to calculate, is it a good idea for me to hire a cleaner? Is it worth the time that I save and the energy that I save to pay this person to come and clean my home? That's just a superficial example, but you could ask it everything for first date ideas to whether or not you should bash the bishop. I mean, honestly, the possibilities with this thing are absolutely endless. I think what I love about ChatGPT when it comes to decision making is it doesn't have emotions. It only has the goals that you told it, and then all of the information that's available on the internet about how to actually get there. So if you are able to remove that decision-making fatigue and that confusion from yourself by using this new tool of AI, I think that's incredibly powerful. And I personally have a whole folder set up on ChatGPT where I shared my 10-year goals in a 1-sentence format for each area of my life. I told it I want to achieve those in 6 months. It gave me a whole audit of questions to figure out where we are now and the steps that we have to take over the next 6 months. And then it gave me a game plan for all of these different areas of my life. And I'm even able to do check-ins and accountability meetings with the AI. But of course, AI is AI, and it would be very easy for me to just close the lid on that laptop and never speak to it again. There really is nothing quite like human accountability. And that's why even I have an accountability partner within my private support group. So if you don't know, I do run a support program for men that are looking to reach their potential and unlock the best versions of themselves. I give men in the program an accountability partner, and I also gave myself one. So I and a man that joined the program, a guy over on the East Coast, he's my accountability partner. He checks in with me. How much sleep did you get? How are your goals going? Are you staying focused this week? And I ask him the same thing. Having that human interaction is really, really helpful. So when it comes to discipline, don't be afraid to ask yourself the hard questions. Maybe the things that you need to be disciplined about aren't the typical cliche daily habits that you might see on YouTube. Don't be afraid to be very specific and personal with the discipline and the habits that you need to build, because what you're trying to do and the goals that you're trying to achieve, they will always be somewhat unlike anything else anybody else is trying to do. And if you do feel like you need that human touch, that support from me personally, from our community, we've got around 30 guys right now in the program, mostly in the US, but also lots of guys in Australia, in Europe also. If that support would help you, if you want to do these kind of one-to-one check-ins with me, then let's jump on a call together. You'll find the link down below to book in a free introductory call with myself, where we can really figure out what you need to work on and how we can help you get there. I look forward to speaking with you, and I appreciate you watching this video today.